It is visible, sir.
Okay. So as per the today topic, we are going to discuss object-oriented relationship. In the object-oriented programming language, we can define many number of classes. So how one class have a relate, have a make a relationship to other class. So in general, you can say object relationship. Uh, last lecture, we have read, we have studied one relationship have you known as a inheritance, right? Inheritance, one relationship we have already studied. Inheritance is the process where one object can access data member from his parent class, and all the public data member may be variable, maybe method. So this is the one relationship we have already studied. This is known as a is a relationship. Is a relationship. The one relationship already we have studied is a relationship known as a excuse me inheritance. So in your syllabus we have another relationship mentioned as a has a relationship. So in generally overall broadly say in the object oriented programming language one object one object can make a relationship another object maybe using the inheritance so has a relationship. Okay, so let us discuss in detail how is a relationship meaning and how has a relationship meaning, and how in a code we are writing is a relationship and how we are writing has a relationship. So for is a relationship we have already discussed inheritance is the one approach through which in the Java programming language we can achieve is a relationship. So, but just let us again read. Let us we have a class, one class, maybe uh, person. Let's first let's relationship class. One class have a let's class car. Okay, one class can have a relationship like engine. Let us one class have a relationship like sport car. Okay, three we have written class. So let us we have analyzed ki how kind of relationship this class contain. So you say support sport car can need some feature of your car, right? So you can say car class, sport class can extend the behavior of your car class. So here you are trying to say car class is define the basic behavior that my maybe sport car, maybe my uh, other luxury car. Okay, uh, these kind of so meaning is that whenever one class defines some common behavior, uh, maybe you can say uh, That's another example. So extend or easy relationship only you can use where you say is this is a kind of parent and child relationship. Parent and child relationship is the your easy relationship where something, some attribute behavior you are inheriting from car class in the your sport class. So extend yeah easy relationship. Let's say we have a class one employee. Employee. So employee, we have another class permanent employee. Permanent employee. So this can be extend your employee class. There are some behavior of employee. Permanent class is also your maybe you can say class ad hoc employee. So you can say कि any class where you want some relationship where that means कि this let's say here each employee should have like here first name like last name. So this first name, last name, maybe your permanent employee, maybe your ad hoc employee, each must needed first name and last name. So we have to inherit this data member in here. So in this scenario, you say कि really, you can say कि permanent employee is a employee. Similarly, ad hoc employee is a employee. So just whenever you are reading extends keyword, just assume this is a relationship. So you can here say कि permanent employee is a car. You can say here is a car. Not make sense. Permanent employee is a car. Not make sense. There is not any reality. So Java compiler not enforce it. I- Java compilers is okay. You can write anything here, any class name, but logically it not make a sense. So while making any inheritance relationship, please make sure you are writing the correct model. So don't write like here car. Your permanent employee cannot extend with a car class. क्योंकि car class है maybe int model number, maybe size, color, okay, the types of car. Okay? So it's okay. Your permanent employee have any model number, many type, no needed. So never use inheritance between the both classes where this is not any kind of is a relationship. So is a relationship we have already. So here you can say permanent employee is a employee or ad hoc employee is an employee. Is it make sense? So before using this inheritance relationship, please think twice. Whatever here writing, just read whatever class name, class A is a this class or not. If your mind ethically you think it is a valid, then you can use extend keyword, else don't use extend keyword. Extend keywords means is a relationship. You can say employee, one superclass, and lots of subclasses can be, but logically, impermanent employee, ad hoc employee, special employee can be is a relationship. Means कि each employee has a at least first name, last name, that's company name, salary name. So is it any doubt with easy relationship or inheritance?
No, sir.
So before writing extend keyword, always ensure that your English reading statement like class, this name, here you can say class, sport class, extend car. Yes, sport class, extend car. We got sport class is a car, or similarly luxury car, maybe other types of car. So these have it. But here you can write like engine is a car. You can write here extend car. No, you cannot say engine is
No,
not a
no.
car. Not make sense. But compiler doesn't enforce you. Compiler not giving any warning. This is our responsibility. Ki you are not writing such a code where there is no any make relationship like EJ. So while writing any, we have a two object, one object, and you are going to make another subclass. Before making a subclass, think twice. This relationship must be easy relationship. Is the reality is really look like or not? If you cannot say ki class B is a, don't write extend keyword. If here is the professor, professor class, yes, professor is a employee. Let's keep you. There is one common class, animal. Let us we are another class, class animal. So we have here class like cat. Cat is animal. Yes, so you can write and here. Yes, cat is animal. We can say ki employee is animal. Class employee, class employee. Okay, already class we have written. We can write here class employee extend animal. Compiler not enforce you. Compiler okay, but reality employee cannot be animal. You cannot say easy relationship. So never while writing inheritance relationship, make think twice. Read it this keyword कि permanent employee या permanent class extends employee. So extends just read as a is a relationship. If really it makes sense, yes, cat is a animal makes sense. So inheritance is a relationship. While writing, please make twice. Is it really read like class cat is a animal? If it makes sense, please go. Else, don't do it. So next is relationship has a relationship. So let us example. Here, our car class can have a engine, no component. Your car class, generally each car class must have a one engine. Without engine, it cannot be said it's a car, right? So this car class is also have a relationship with the engine. So you can say this is a has a relationship. Means ki car class have a engine. So has a relationship is nothing, just this class with which component they are constructing. This is really needed? Yes. So this relationship known as your has a relationship. Without engine, there is no any make sense of your car class. So here you can say ki employee can have a one cat, someone can have a cat, here you can say come on, someone can have animal, some pet animal, right? So whenever you are writing one class and can contain another class object reference, this relationship known as your has a relationship. Has a relationship makes sense. This employee can have animal. This employee can have a car. But you cannot say this employee is a car, extend car. Compiler is very happy. They don't any whether whatever you writing here. Just think this is the inheritance relationship. But someone read this code say employee extend car, employee is a car. Oh, really not make sense. But here you want I want some behavior from car class. So logically compiler allow, but it's not make a sense. So don't do this. If really you want to some behavior, some function from this class, car class, yes, employee can have a one car. You can just make a has relation. Here say this is a has. So both relationship is a or has a. Only difference is where you are making two object relationship. We have one employee class, one car class. We cannot make an inheritance relationship. Instead, we can create one employee class can hold the object of your car class. One employee can have a car, one employee can have animal. But you cannot say कि employee is an animal, employee is a car. No. Till now, is there any doubt with what is a has a relationship and what is a relationship?
No, sir.
So both are is a are has a just is a one kind of concept. For the while writing code, you have to ensure you are writing making relationship. So let us hear again one more concept come here. Sometime this extend keyword known as a inheritance or is a relationship. Similarly, this relationship like a car has a engine, this concept known as a composition, known as a composition, right? So someone asks you what is the composition, you can say when one class is constructed or built with the help of another class object known as a composition or composite object. You, you are composing a building car class with the help of another class known as a engine. So this model known as a has a relationship or composition. Whenever your one class,
Sir,
yes,
so can you please repeat again the definition of composition?
composition when one class you are building or compositing or constructing with the help of another class like here engine class. You are building a car class, we have defined property 1, property 2, property 3, and also define one property that is another class. That means this car has a engine. So this is known as a has a relationship or composition or composite object. Composite. So has a relationship nothing. Simply say कि you are going to defining one class that have a reference of another class. Sometimes this variable known as a reference variable. They can referring to engine object. Doubt?
So here we constructed the engine class in car class, or here we made an object of engine class in car class.
You can initialization part can anywhere. All the variable you can initialize, maybe constructor, maybe setter getter, right? You can initialize in how initialize it doesn't matter, but only matter this car class with which component they are going to the build. All the component known as has a relationship. Maybe build with some other part, maybe wheel, maybe other component of the car. Lots of car have component. So all the component, if you have a defined separate classes, and you surely cannot make any sense, you can give it in inheritance. No. So you have to alternative is known as your has a. So let us here, if you let us just instead of just write simple variable, and let's you want to initialize. So here say whenever someone going to build my car class must be built. If you want to build this car class, okay. So I say our car class designer say if someone must miss for any car, send me the model number, type, and engine. Which engine for your building? So someone, if you are trying to build here your car class, new car, you cannot build here. But you have not, you don't want to someone build my car class. It's this way. You have to pass. Okay, model number. You can pass any model number. Okay, let's model number. Let's see, 234 any model number. Let's types types of car. Let's types maybe sport or something. Okay. Third parameter we are expecting engine. So engine is another of class. So you have to first create your engine object. Okay? This engine object you have to pass here. So now your class is constructed with the help of another object. Without this engine class, if your this class, this object is not exist, you cannot create car. If this car is expecting you give me one engine. The car has an engine, car needed an engine. So this relationship between these two class, car and engine, known as a has a relationship. Sometime you can say this is a very strong relationship. Okay. Sometime has a relationship also known as your composition. So there are two kind of uh, relationship. One easy relationship. Easy relationship only makes sense is really it's you can read this class is a this class or not. So if you talk about these two again, like sorry, uh, is a relationship or has a relationship. So generally generally always recommended in real application until you avoid as possible. Why? Reason is that you are sometime your compiler here not enforcing here developer write anything whatever you want. Maybe example here employee class can here you can write anything. can extend maybe animal, maybe car, maybe anything. Compiler have not any control here ki what developer writing. And let us, if you allow inheritance, something problem here. You notice that in the car class, I have added something here. Due to that, all the subclass also compiler break. Now notice our this code is not compiling because you have changed something in the superclass. In superclass, I changed something. I change one class in superclass and all the child class also throwing compiler error. So this is the one drawback in the form of inheritance. You inheritance say if you change something in the superclass, might be your sub all the subclasses are going to affect it. So one change effect ripple effect in all the subclasses. So generally say until really not needed inheritance, don't use inheritance. Okay. So here, what was our purpose? Our purpose was why I am using the inheritance because in this subclass I want to invoke some variable, some method of superclass. This is our initial intention. But you can use inheritance, not an issue, but surely makes sense. This is a relationship. It's really happen, then you can use. But please be note that whenever you are using inheritance relationship, this is also problem with inheritance. If someone going to change in a superclass, all the subclass must need to fix it. Before let's see, I have not written this constructor. Our all the classes are happy, but I'm not going to change anything in the sport class and luxury class. Just I want to change in super class here. Something I change here, all of my subclasses are breaked. So this is the drawback of your easy relationship or inheritance. Whenever you are using inheritance, you have to ensure something change in a superclass that will break your all the subclasses. Maybe we have a 10 subclasses. Maybe this subclass is in another package. In another package, all the package are breaked. So please, this is the some guidelines. Whenever you are using inheritance, whenever using inheritance, this class inherited, this class inherited, it's okay. Compiler allow you can use inheritance, you can use inheritance, but be sure that keep in mind if something someone change in here can be affected this class, can be affected this class because they are inherited the property. And you have changed something this class that will break all the compilation failure. So this is the drawback of inheritance or is a relationship. So generally in the production application, we make sure whatever you are going to the change superclass, ensure that all the related subclass you go and fix. Else your application will not work. If someone asks, inheritance is a very good thing. They allow some behavior method written here, you can access here, you can access here. That's a good part. But also bad part, if something you write something different thing that can break this class, can break this class. So you should keep in the mind while using inheritance. First thing, make sure whatever writing here, class A and class B, read like English statement. Class A is a class B or not. If it really makes sense, then use inheritance. Else, avoid.
Sir,
Next,
one.
yes.
No. I just forgot. What was the saying I was just going to say? In
Let's think.
inheritance. Yeah, I just forgot. I just had it in my mind. Right.
So we have discussed two relationship. One is
Ah,
again known
yes,
as
it
inheritance.
got in my mind. Sir,
Inheritance,
uh,
yes, and
if
um,
there are four classes, one is the super class and three are its child class,
okay,
and all classes are compiled
uh,
by our compiler. And
yes.
when if we change any in the super class, then we need to compile that child class again, or we need to go in the code and make that change.
Compilation will not fix your issue now. If something you change here, all other inheritance relationship. Let's okay. Let us you change something here. Okay. In the example, in the car class we have added constructor. Okay. Here now compiler expecting you are also expecting here some constructor, here some constructor, here some constructor. So by default, compiler not fix for you. You manually go and fix this class. Manually go and fix in class. Manually go and fix in this class.
Like, sir, can you explain any change we make in the main class, super
In-
class?
Let's here. Uh, this is the our initial code. Look like car class. We have extended car class 1, car class 2. Now it's each and everything fine. Okay. There is no compiler error. Your application working fine. Let's here I added constructor. Now your compiler is not happy here because in this class, if you already define one constructor, okay, so they are expecting here you define at least some constructor, maybe default constructor, yeah, one argument, yeah, two argument. So here it's giving you there is no default constructor available in the your class, this class. Similarly here, so this is the effect. You changing in one class, but problem in another class will problem in another class. But if someone say I didn't change anything here, why this compiler give you the warning? Because you are using inheritance. Inheritance in super class you change something. Is it clear? This is the only major drawback a problem with inheritance.
And sir, if any class we need to construct it with some parameters, then we can't make it a super class,
You can
or
it.
we can if
You can
it's
it.
child.
No, you can do it. If here you fix it
Okay,
now.
so yeah, what is the main problem when we construct the car class? Then why it will show error in the sport car and luxury car?
Here say there is any default constructor. As when we are studying constructor, I say कि whenever manually you write any constructor, after that compiler is not going to provide the default constructor for you, right? So here there is no default constructor. There is no default constructor because in the super class you have written one constructor.
Okay, so if like if we just leave it over here, the main class it has a constructor method. So sport car will also inherit the constructor method from the car.
No, constructor is not inherited. But whenever is sport class is going to build, is car class also going to the build. कि whenever you are going to create the subclass object, first your super class object going to the build. So here say in this class have a default constructor. Sport class has a default constructor. Here this class need also default constructor. In this class you can build like this way. S equal to new this. So whenever you are building the subclass object, okay, this subclass going to build your car class object. In car class, there is no default constructor. So he is not happy. So this kind of problem happen in the inheritance, and you have to manually fix it. They have a multiple option to fix it. You will try. You can change something here, it will fix. You change something here more, can fix. Let's try it. But this is just I want to the convey you message. Whenever you are using inheritance, such kind of problem you will face. You are changing something in one class or something problem go with another class. So this is you can say this relationship, you can say is a relationship your strong relationship, strong relationship. Okay, so please be note, EJ or inheritance is a strong relationship. Something you would change in your super class might be need to change in subclasses. A list of subclasses, not only one. Maybe here this car class, maybe 10 other classes extended. You have to fix in all the 10 classes, right? So here, how to fix it? Here you have to write like a constructor, maybe. Fuck, just I'm giving you can write else simply say read here say constructor. Whenever I am going to create a default constructor in this way, you have to invoke the super class constructor with some argumented like uh, or this car needed the constructor like any model number, any type, and you have to some new engine in this way. In this way, you can fix this class, but this class also need to fix it. So if let's keep this car class have a 10 more subclasses, so manually have to go fix all the classes. This is the problem. If someone you book inheritances, just read the drawback or what is the problem with inheritance. This is the only problem. If something change in the super class, that can be break to the all the subclass.
Okay, so we can make the constructor of like the luxury class manually, like
We have to fix. We have multiple options. This is the one option I just guess you. Maybe this
if
can
we
be fixed
don't want to put the model number.
whatever you want.
Okay,
There are multiple options to fix it. But here intention is that you have to change one change are affecting the multiple places. This is the problem only. If I am not written this, all are the very happy. Okay, there is no any problem. All the relationship very good. But I just change one thing in my super class, and all the my subclass will affected. So this is keep in mind only things. But let's go to the opposition. Go to the higher relationship. This kind of problem you cannot facing. This is sometimes known as a your weak relationship. Weak relationship. How? At, here your employee class contain your car class, but you have changed something in car class, but they have not any impact. It is okay. There is no here in this class we don't need to change anything because this car employee class not extended car class. They have make a higher relationship. They are free. They don't need to change in employee class. If this class let's say inherited your car class, it is also become problematic. So this is the benefit of your higher relationship. Something change in your in this composition class don't need to change all the this class, no, not needed. So due to these changes, sometimes say is a relationship, inheritance is a strong relationship. Has a relationship or composition is a weak relationship. They have a bond. This employee class have a bond, have a relationship with the car class, but this is not so strong. If something change here, you have to change also. Or something change employee class, you have to change also car class. No, there is no any kind of hard relationship. So these are the some key point you have to ensure while writing the code. First, use is a relationship really when you two classes have a some easy relationship. Not anything you can write here. Any class you cannot write here. Whatever writing this class, just read one English sentence. Permanent employee is a employee or not. If you read okay, just use. Else ignore it. Only purpose in this class, only purpose to access the member of the employee class. Here also in car class, we can, why using the car class, you can access some data member, a property. From this car object, you can call all the function and method which you want. You have the object. So is it, this is the your two relationship, is a relationship and has a relationship. Is a known as a inheritance or strong relationship. Has a known as a composition is a weak relationship. That means what is the strong or weak means? Strong means if something change in this car class, also need a change in employee class. This is the impact happen. Change in the super class and going to change ripple effect in the subclass, subclass, subclass. And in the opposition, in the composition, there is no need to change. If something change in the car class, that is the depend responsibility of car class. I don't directly hardly couple to the car class. I have a something problem with the car class. That problem not the my problem. No. Is it okay or anything else? Just go through your textbook. I have not no what are the written there, but overall you will get this definition somehow, right? This is just your Hajar relationship. Any doubt?
Okay.
Any concerns till now?
No. No.
Okay, just go to your textbooks and read out something more mentioned, which I skip. It's overall from the programming perspective, coding perspective, you should know this. Key, whenever you are creating one class and taking the reference of another class is a has a relationship, and when you are using the extend keyword inheritance, this is known as a is a relationship. So let us, if you have not any point for the day, so we can close the call. What do you think?
Yes.
Yes,
Just
Uh,
sir.
just go through the your textbooks and read out this and write some example. Okay, still any doubt with inheritance or with the has a relationship, we can again discuss. No problem. But you just read out and whatever I convey, same message in your textbooks written as something different. I have not gone through your textbook, but what as a Java developer need to know about this two terminology is a relationship, has a relationship, inheritance or composition, strong relationship and weak relationship. Okay,
yes, sir.
okay. Then today, nice. I think we can close the call. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.